Zach mentioned the tribes, and one thing I want to point out, we stand 10 toes down. Well, I personally definitely stand 10 toes down with all the people out there in those gangs, whether you Blood, Crip, Gangsta Disciple, Vice Lord, any other set you claim. We ride with you. We understand the communities you come from and the vibe you come from. Speaking of black on black violence, we trying to put an end to that and stop it. Today I asked Zach to welcome somebody influential from one of our historical leaders. He have a Malcolm X t-shirt on, and I have Dr. King. Zach, I want to ask you, what are the top 5 things you think Malcolm X will be more impactful to this culture today?
Man, so much relevance in Malcolm's words and vision in this moment today. I think there are a few points that really stick out to me. I think one of the quotes that he actually started with, and they all fit together, is, the media is the most powerful entity on earth. It controls the minds of the masses. I think that's, completely linked to another kind of concept that he very clearly articulated, which is that if you look at the society and culture of America that it delivers to our black youth, it's almost inevitable that our path leads to either death or prison. And that in reality, those youth are still the ones who otherwise could be creating the next quantum technologies.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Could be curing cancer.
Yeah.
Could be building the next industries of tomorrow. But we're surrounded and inundated with a culture and societal structure that prevents us from stepping into our own. I think the final maybe point that he also built into that was that, education is our path to the future.
Correct.
For tomorrow is owned by those who can envision what it looks like. The other point that he also said, though, is, don't equate education to college or universities. That's one portion of it.
Right.
But you have to teach and build yourself as well. And that's one thing Malcolm always did. I think that the final point probably is, this idea that history is a people's memory. And without a memory, a man is at the whims of others. Our culture, our history has been in many ways taken from us, reformulated and given back to us in a way that's often led to confusion and has held us back. So I think in this moment, as we talk about redefining, reimagining our culture, that's what's going to put us in a position to lead tomorrow.
Very powerful. And I think what your program is definitely picking up what Brother Malcolm said. I chose Dr. King because Dr. King stood for peace. I would like to see more peace in our community. And before we have a resolution where we can stop the violence, just get a little peace, take a moment and take a chill break, like a breath of fresh air, and just start searching for peace. And Dr. King also stood for nonviolence. We need to learn coping skills. Instead of get the gun and go ahead and shoot your brother, you know what I'm saying? Have a coping skills and problem resolution. How can we resolve this issue that we're going through? Another thing Dr. King stood for was education. He was a highly intelligent man, and literacy is definitely important. If we could get that foundation of education at a very young age and know that school and learning is very important. Sometimes our kids don't get that jump from age 6 to 12. They miss out on those the fundamental skills. By the time they're teenagers, they were so far behind and they just drop out because they just can't catch up. Another thing that Dr. King stood for was love. We just need to start loving one another again. We need to go back and get that brother's nod. Instead of somebody see you, you think he mean mugging or shooting you a unit or something, you want to kill it. You know what I'm saying? Stand on that and like, man, you know what I'm saying? I see you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I got love for you. We got to go back to that. That's what we could end that. And the last thing that Dr. King stood for was the faith. He was a very faithful man. He was a Baptist preacher. And the things that he talked about and he prayed on was very impactful. I would like to read a prayer from my book. I call it the JITS prayer. Dear God, our Heavenly Father, I pray for my wrongdoings. Understand that I'm a child, criminal-minded, living foolish. Bless me, see no more cases, and I'll walk in righteous steps. A covenant I never break, and you can put that on my death. And that's the 5 things I think Dr. King stood for me, and that's most impactful. All right, Zach, good.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to close it, and that would, in many ways, link Malcolm and Martin, because if they stood on the ground of spirituality,
Right.
recognizing the Most High, God has always got our back.
Yep.
When we align with the Most High, that's going to be the path that leads to our power.
And we could just, the problem right now for us, black on black violence. Well, that's it for Soul to Kill. Zach, thanks for coming out and chilling with me, man. Appreciate you, man.
We're just getting started.
All right, for sure. Y'all lay around for it. We out.
Peace.